Hi Earthlings, I'm Trice, and this is the #1 mindset trick to show you how to speed up your money manifestations. It made me $250,000 doing this one trick. And if you watch all the way to the end of the video, you'll know how to do it too. Usually when we don't have money and we're trying to manifest financial abundance, it's because we're coming from a place of lack. And it's very, very, very hard not to see that lack and just putting a band-aid on it and saying, I'm going to pretend that I see abundance is very difficult. But shifting your perspective makes it 1,000 times easier. And I'm going to show you how. Take a look at this picture and tell me, what do you see? You might see one of two things. You might see a young woman or an old lady. If you see the young woman, look at the young woman's chin and think of it as a large nose. And look at the young woman's ear and think of it as an eye. If you can't see the old woman when you do that, put this on pause. Now, if you see the old woman, look at the old woman's nose and think of it as the left cheek of a face looking away from you. And look at the old woman's eye and think of it as an ear on the face looking away from you. And put this on pause until you can see the young woman. Now, did you see what happened? You were looking at the exact same picture, but your perspective changed. You really, truly saw something different. You weren't trying to fake it or pretend. And once you saw it, it wasn't hard, right? Now, let me tell you about a story in my life that made me $250,000 for doing this. I had started my own business, but I was only making a couple thousand a month. So I wanted to boost my income, and I had this fantasy of me and my husband working together and building our dream life together. So I pitched the idea that he should hire me and I could work at his spa doing financial stuff. And so he said, okay, that sounds great. And about 1.5 years went by, and then he fired me. That's what happened. He totally fired me. And it was a shock to my system. He's like, Trice, you don't listen. I can't work with you. And I realized I had two ways of looking at this situation. One, like I'm married to Lucifer himself. And believe me, for about a week or two, I sat on my couch eating bonbons thinking just that. Or I could think something else. Half the reason I wanted to do that is for the romance of working together, of building together. And that just actually wasn't going to happen and never happened. So I lost nothing there. So what I really was doing it, the only other part was for the money. So what I did is I took that question, how can I make a lot more money while I'm building my business? I'm sitting on my couch, eating the bonbons, and I was like, I think housing prices are going up. I had a 550 square foot lofted studio in Midtown East, and I bought it for $370,000. And when I did a small little Google fact check, I realized I could sell it for $425,000. And it was kind of crusty. So I was like, maybe if I do some forced improvement upgrades on this, that I could really boost it. And if I watch the trend line of real estate prices in New York City were going up, up, up to the stratosphere. And I knew what would bring them down is an uptick in interest rates. So I didn't have any cash. So what I did is I took out $20,000 on my credit card and upgraded the house. New floors, new fridge, new appliances, new backsplash, everything. And then as soon as the Fed raised the interest rate by 1 tick, I put the for sale sign in my house. I ended up selling that apartment for $647,000, almost a $250,000 profit. Do you see how shifting my perspective made me $250,000 richer? Because if my husband had not fired me, I would have not been sitting on my couch pouting, and I would have not looked for another opportunity. And I didn't have to force myself to feel good about it. When I just sat and examined what was happening, and then I shifted my perspective and believed that there was another possibility where I could make lots of money. And you can do the same if you smash that like button. Just joking, but if you do, it would really help me with the algorithm and I would make me so happy. But you can do that too. Truly, everything has more than one possibility. So what you do is you look at what you're looking at. just like the old woman or me getting fired, and say, what do I want out of this situation? And believe that if you keep looking, you will see a new, better possibility.